Scared.
We'll do better next time, Jeremiah.
Yeah, we'll do better.
We'll do better, man. We still learning.
Jeremiah?
Still learning, man.
It's my fault.
It is.
It is my fault.
Long as he know.
Yeah.
It's my fault. Because I'm the one with the wife, and I should have.
And now I want water because he's saying he want water.
It's my fault.
Fucking water envy.
Water envy.
1 second.
Oh,
All right.
Are you on camera, bro?
Nah, man.
You gonna be on camera today?
You invited 30 niggas over here. We ain't on camera.
Wu-Tang.
You got a mic though, right?
Yeah, I got a mic. I
right.
need
Voltron.
Who far? Jeremiah, bring your mic up, bro. There you go.
Yo.
You can. There you go.
What's up?
Yo,
All right,
yo.
we good.
Y'all
Y'all
good?
good,
Yeah,
man.
we good.
Y'all good.
Go.
How we gonna start this shit? First of all, Valentine's Day is coming up, right?
Yeah.
They thought they was getting us. The reason why I got it on the board today is because they thought they was getting us with putting Valentine's Day by the Super Bowl. They thought they was gonna cancel that shit. This shit did not happen. We still got it. Where my phone at? What y'all getting y'all girls for Valentine's Day? This the test. Come on. What y'all getting y'all girl for Valentine's Day? Mike, what you getting your girl?
I mean, I don't have a young lady right now to get anything for.
This nigga think he's slick.
Yeah, I don't have
What you getting your shorty, man?
Bro, seriously, I don't have anyone.
Barack, what you getting your wife?
I'm gonna continue to make the car payment.
Hey, Barack buying the vacuum cleaner for Valentine's Day.
What y'all getting y'all girl?
I'm single, man.
He always come on here and lie.
He's always single. Isn't he?
Eugene, what you getting?
Dinner and a surprise, man.
Dinner and a surprise.
Yeah.
Is it
So-
a
so-
Jamaican surprise?
No, hell no. It ain't
I'm about to say what I was gonna
Jamaican
say.
surprise.
We want to
Me
do.
and K show up with dick for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
So, are you trying to say that women can?
I didn't say that. So you making an inference.
I ain't on camera, so we good.
I didn't say that.
What's the worst Valentine's Day gift y'all done got?
Ever?
Yeah.
I mean, hell,
honestly
none
don't
most of the
remember.
time.
Most of the
I
time
don't
it's
remember.
none.
Yeah. I would say,
This
I
is a
don't
one-way holiday.
Exactly.
Y'all got to
To
do
give
better.
and
man.
receive. This is what they was talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all got to do.
I can't recall, but I know I've gotten some stupid shit at some point.
Like, what's the best gift? You know, okay, let's go through Valentine's Day gifts that I have received.
Okay.
Hugs, chocolate,
cologne.
shitty cologne, yeah.
What you mean, shitty
And
cologne?
it's never the good stuff. It's never, the Creed or the Bond, right? It's
Ain't nobody giving you that shit.
nobody give you.
Nobody
And
give
I'm
you
supposed to
that.
be the love
No,
of your
you're not getting
life.
that shit.
Yeah, so it's never. Yeah, so like, yeah, I've
Who
got.
said you was the love of her life?
Yeah.
She said it.
Let's turn it up.
She said it.
I did say I was gonna be on my best behavior. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Exactly.
You made that up.
Look, man, it is what it is.
I got some Michael Kors ties once, like a whole set, like 5 of them.
Michael Kors ties.
They make ties. They do make clothes.
I don't even wear ties.
That's a good gift. That's solid.
Yeah, it was
That's
good.
solid.
It was like
It's safe, but
it
it's
was
solid.
different. It was like different shades of blue.
Yeah, it's safe, but it's solid.
Yes, definitely.
All right, Mike, you gonna read this simp post, or you want me to read it?
Hey, no, go ahead and read it.
All right. Shout out to my man Chris. Let me give hand claps for Chris, man. Look, Chris.
Yeah, man, if you get an iPhone, you be able to get in it.
Yo, Chris, I'm shouting you out right quick, Chris, because we about to tear your ass up. Happy Valentine's to you, bro. I'm sure as a simp you're gonna spend it alone, or you just gonna
No, he's not spending it alone. He's about to overspend.
Right.
That's a wild ass
Spend it with
intro.
somebody.
what? I'm being nice to him.
I'm listening to this
That's
shit.
a wild intro, dog.
Yo, before we do that, let's intro this podcast. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to everybody that's concerned with the pod. Shout out to Laws in the building. He's always here. Shout out to my co-host. And then we got some special guests.
We got the Digital Cigar Lounge in here.
Hand claps for them, man.
Hand claps
and
for my
gunshots.
brothers.
2/3.
2/3 of the Digital Cigar Lounge.
Yo, shout out to Thanos over here.
Light skinned Thanos.
Look, man. If you could snap your fingers, what's the first thing you getting rid of? Be honest, because we're going to tell you if you lying.
Probably racism. Probably racism.
Yeah, he went safe.
Yeah, he did go say.
He went safe.
He would say.
Producer,
But
can
look,
you bring up
but-
TV Jeremiah?
Yeah,
This nigga said racism.
yeah, facts.
Definitely would say.
But I ain't gonna lie though, yo. Like I would definitely get a little bit aggressive with that power. I would get rid of some motherfuckers.
You
I
get rid of
would.
some. You
Like
get rid of
who?
some behavior.
I would get rid of some motherfuckers.
Behavior or people.
People. Yo, shout out.
It say in the good book, hit the sin, not the sinner.
That's it.
We got Eugene here.
Yo.
We got Mike, of course. And then we got Baraka. Baraka was actually on time. Or like
was
right
on
there.
time.
Shout out to him. I had to send out the text earlier, just to put it on there. All right. Let me read y'all this post right quick. All right, my man Chris. Shout out to you, bro. I already said it already. Last week I was in a meeting and one of the men stood up and got to talking about his priorities in life. Then he went on to say that his wife is more of a priority than his own mother. That is a key word for me. I'm going to come back to that later. I politely asked him to think about what he was saying, and I walked out.
Walked out of there.
Look, and let's go back to that line right quick. I politely asked him to think about what he was saying, and I walked out. To my brothers out there, no woman, in all caps, should come before the woman who birthed you. If that woman doesn't respect the fact that your flesh and blood, he sounds like a preacher, comes before her, then stay away from her. You should never come before her daddy, and he said daddy. Let's specify that. Or any man in her life, married or not. Now, Mike, react, because you wanna go in on this man, and I think he's a nice guy because I shouted him out earlier.
No, I think he thinks he's a nice guy.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
he's not a nice guy though, right? Because he's automatically saying like, no one should become, like what you shouldn't become before her dad, and she shouldn't become before your mom. Well, why not just stay home? Like, what was the whole point of getting married? And then when you have children, then what? Like, how do you want that to look? How do you want that to go?
Well, first of all, let's do it like this. Anybody in the room, what's y'all take on like the hierarchy of who comes in your life?
When you get married, y'all become one, right?
I'm asking you, man.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
so,
when you get married, you become
so
one.
me and Micah talked about this for a second. we talked about this a little bit off air a while ago. The best answer for me, if you have, and this is an if statement. If I have a Proverbs 31 woman, I'm not putting nobody or nothing above her.
Okay.
But
Not your kids?
no.
Okay, I'm
no,
just asking, man. You
No,
got-
Proverbs 31 woman, no, she is first. But that's the thing though. I think that's where it tends to get a bit messy, because not all of us are in relationships with people with that level of compassion, synchronicity. Everybody's situation isn't ordained, so it gets complicated when you start putting temporary people before permanent ones. It's just I don't like what he said. I don't agree with what he said at all. For the record, I don't.
I think it depends on the relationship, man. Like everybody's situation is different, and the situation is situational, right? So, in what way are we saying he's putting his mom over or his wife over his mom? Like, how does that actually? What does that even look like?
Well, I mean, his words is just blanket, right? He didn't caveat it, so
Yeah,
we don't.
that's true.
So we don't have to caveat it for him.
It was no nuance.
Yeah, no nuance. He was just like, yo,
He used the nuclear weapon approach.
yeah, she comes first, and I'm going to adamantly disagree with it. And this is as a divorced man. Like, no, my wife comes before my mother, and then when I'm no longer married, then my mother can be the priority.
Yeah, no one's supposed to come before your spouse. But we also see it all the time in reverse. Like I just saw, me and Eugene just talked about this. We just talked about a woman's Instagram profile.
Yeah.
It said, her, it said her, the order, her, my children, wife. Like that's what her mother,
Husband.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Husband.
However
She
she
said
put it, but
husband,
she
yeah.
put her husband last
Last,
though.
Yeah.
he was last.
Openly
Yeah,
for everyone to see. So I think that men get put last all the time.
Do you?
But we can't reciprocate that bad behavior.
No,
Yeah,
You can't
and I don't
publicly
agree
put
with
that
the
on a
behavior.
profile, absolutely.
yeah. I mean,
I don't
but
agree
here's
with
the
the
thing.
behavior.
I would love to meet her husband, right? Because I already have a son.
Oh, them niggas don't have Facebook pages.
Yeah, because he can't. Because she
can't.
told him not
Sorry,
to.
excuse me.
So, and that's how she can post that ridiculousness.
They don't have no social
Yeah, he ain't
media.
following her, right? Like, yeah. So, but I mean, I already have assumptions about him that are probably true.
What? I'm putting his feet to the fire today.
Oh, that he's probably a soft man.
What does that mean?
It means that
They
he's
about to tear
soft.
your ass up.
No,
What is soft?
It means that he's soft.
What does that mean? What does a soft man look like?
What is it?
Nail tissue.
No,
I
I
mean-
just want to know what that look like. You calling them weak?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
I'm calling him weak.
So would he
So he's not the bus driver in a
mama's boy?
relationship.
He's quite possibly a mama's boy.
And do women?
Micah mama's boy. Don't let him lie to you.
No. Oh,
You a mama's boy?
Yeah. I didn't seen this boy fold in front of his mama. He's a mama's boy.
wait, first off.
But nothing's wrong with being a mama's boy. That don't make you soft or weak.
No. First off,
Do women like mama's boys?
Yeah. They create them.
That mamas love mama's boys. I don't think wives or girlfriends love mama's boys. I think, and to Gavin's point, my mom was my ride or die, right? But also to not Gavin's point, anytime I've ever had like a situation that was really like I'm wondering how bad this fucked up the situation is, I did not call my mom.
That's because
I called my dad.
Well, I look at it like this. Being a mama's boy, it has a negative connotation in y'all generation, y'all older folks. But I mean, reality, what is it?
Hold on, man.
Like, pew pew.
I ain't gonna lie. How you gonna separate
Pew, pew,
the older
pew. Because we started thinking mama's boys, we thinking like weak, you can't handle yourself, you going around crying, you soft. And no, a mama's boy is what?
Well, in the last 20 years, I think the generations are different too.
So what's a mama's boy then? That's all I'm asking.
No. I mean, a mama's boy is, I guess. I mean, if you want to say simp light. I mean,
I'm here to tell Mike, you are absolutely incorrect.
You can move. You can move into that direction. But we're talking about how we're using the term as a mama's boy, right?
Yeah. So it's an incorrect usage.
We're not talking about dudes that have good relationship with their moms, right? And I think you're trying to caveat dudes that have good relationship with their moms as mama's boy.
Mike, you called a mama's boy soft. I asked you, what is a mama's boy? And you saying not a dude who you calling him a simp.
No. I say simp light, which means those basic behaviors, right? But in the sense of, I guess, he's
what? I want you to define
with his father. How about that?
Not at all. I'm not giving you that either.
Okay, well, tell me what answer you're looking for then. Because Gavin always does this, right?
What?
Gavin always goes with the whataboutism, right?
No, I'm not.
And then when you answer it, it is not answered the way that he likes. What he doesn't do is tell you what he intends.
No,
so go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me what you intend.
Right. Here's what a mama's boy is. It's a dude who have a great relationship with his mom. Hold on. It's a dude who got a great relationship with his mom. He loves his mom and he treats his mom with respect and he just loves his mom. I'm not
But that's not what we're talking about.
No, that's not what you talking about.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about who comes first.
Mike, I know that's a whole nother subject. We're gonna get back to that. But you call it. Hold on. Because Mike like to cut people off and then chop the shit off and then be like, here we go.
Am I cutting anybody off right now?
Yeah, you just did. So here we go. I'm not settling for a mama's boy is a simp light because when we call chicks sex workers light, we want to call them sex worker, but we being nice about it. So I'm not calling a simp a mama's boy. And I'm not saying a mama's boy is a dude who don't spend enough time with his dad. But I'm not doing that either.
What you described, or that definition that you just gave, was not what is considered.
It's not.
No,
that's what Gav likes.
No. That's why I asked Mike clearly, what is your definition? Yeah, but and he said a simp.
Yeah, I say simp light.
But what
simp
you described,
light, Mike, we're not doing that because you know what that means. When you say prostitute light,
because the term mama's boy has never been a term of fucking endearment.
So this is why I said y'all generation.
So in your generation, now it's a term of endearment. Is what you're saying?
No, I think we look at LeBron James and say he's a mama's boy. You say he's the greatest father fucking ever on TV. So
I say he shows.
So would you call LeBron a simp then?
No. What the hell are you talking about?
You led with a simp light. That's what you just said. I'm using your words. That's why I asked the definition.
When we talk about mama's boy, we have never used the term about a mama's boy and said that we're using this in a nice manner, right?
No.
When you call a boy a mama's boy, you always say that he is soft.
We don't never like to define that.
He's going to run off to his mom, right? He's not going to stand for himself. These have always been the attributes that we label mama's boy. Right now, you're saying in our generation that we're saying that a mama's boy is negative, right?
Absolutely.
Are you saying that?
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, cool.
All right, now hold on.
That's all. We on the same
page. In my generation,
here.
we say that mama boy is negative, right?
Cool.
Is that clear? Yeah. All right. So Gavin is saying that in another generation, that term means something else.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what does it mean in that generation?
I just told you.
So it just means a boy that adores his mom.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm not settling on he's a simp. But I can settle on.
Okay, he's not a simp. Take that away. I said I used the wrong word.
So you call him soft. So we good.
Yeah. So he's soft.
LeBron James, you are soft according to Mike. There we go.
Did I say that? Did I say LeBron James is soft?
Yes, you did.
Wait, is LeBron James a mama's boy?
Yes.
Did I say LeBron James is a mama's boy?
Is he not?
Is
he not? Mike, answer the question. Is he not?
Does mama boy, is that negative to me?
Is LeBron James or not? Because he didn't spend enough time with his dad.
Is LeBron?
That's what you said.
Do I use
mama
term,
boy's a simp like and
have
soft.
I ever talked bad about LeBron James? Answer that question. All right. So you want me to call LeBron James a mama boy based on your definition?
I asked. That's all I did.
Then I'm saying no.
Okay,
Move on to the next topic.
Next topic. His definition, he is a mama's boy.
But that's based on his definition.
I don't, no disrespect, but I don't recognize Gavin's
I don't expect you to.
definition though.
I don't.
Because
But
I never heard it placed in that way. Like when these people say he's a mama's boy, it's like
They're
you don't
the
understand.
stupidest generation of
Right.
people I ever seen in my
Mike,
fucking life.
y'all dumb as fuck,
Next
and y'all
topic.
ain't never did shit.
Next
We didn't already
topic.
tore your ass up on that. And here's the fact:
Next
when
topic.
everybody talks about LeBron James, he loves his mom. He does anything for his
So
mom.
you want you really came to this pod just to talk shit on LeBron, bro?
No,
After he
I
broke
got him
the
on the
scoring
top.
record.
I got him on the list.
After he breaks the scoring
Look,
record, man,
let's
this
put
is
it like
what
this.
you do
Mike-
to LeBron on LeBron James Appreciation Day.
Look, Mike didn't put LeBron on the list. I put LeBron on the list. You ask anybody right now, they think LeBron James a mama's boy, they gonna absolutely tell you yes, bro.
I can't believe you
And
doing
nothing's
this.
wrong with
Cannot
that.
believe you're
I
doing
don't
this on
think that-
LeBron James
I don't think
Appreciation
that
Day.
LeBron James is a mama's boy.
I don't.
No, you don't think LeBron
I
James
agree with
soft.
Thanos.
Not
I
in the
don't
sense
think that
of the
he's
way
a
we
mama's boy.
discuss.
He's a mama's boy, bro.
I don't.
He's a mama's boy.
I've seen nothing.
He's a KD is a mama's boy. It's a lot of these dudes out here who are mama's boys.
Wait, but we're not sitting here saying that you can't love or be nice to your mom.
Mike,
We've
I
never,
led with
but the
that.
term of mama's boy have never been a sweet term.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's
I agree
never
with
been
this.
a sweet term.
Connotation.
Bro.
Negative connotation.
I literally led with that.
Gav, you got 4 cats here who hear that term and define it differently than you.
Yeah,
You're the outlier here. Is all I'm
he
saying.
is the outlier here.
Here's
That's
the
all I'm
thing.
saying.
He's the
Did
outlier.
I or did I not say different generation? And I agree
Yeah.
with y'all that y'all generation saw it negatively. So you telling me something I just already told you 10 minutes ago I
feel you.
agree with.
That's my first time hearing your definition.
All right.
Yeah, because you asked me. I'm able to give it. He gave you simp and soft. That's what he gave you.
All right. I did. All right.
did.
All right. Next topic.
Might be tight
Next topic.
because he don't like
Ne-
it.
Well, I mean, what? Go ahead, Gal.
What?
He want to make Mama's Boy a sweet
a term of endearment.
A term of endearment. Fine. Fuck
Yeah,
it. Next.
What's next there, Mike?
Next. Well, I mean, hell, do we even answer the
Like,
question?
in war, do they say bring in the mama's boys? Hell no.
Bring in the Mama's Boy.
You don't got to. You ain't got to.
All right, back to the topic, man. Wife, mother, daughter, bro. Like, did we even get through this whole Gavin?
No.
Torpedoed it.
Mike, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're going to try it and don't do it.
All right, so again,
Don't do it.
let's go back to it. Who comes first? All right, my contention, my point has been your wife should come first.
Your wife is supposed to come
absolutely.
first.
All right.
Your wife is
disagreement
supposed to
there.
come
No
first.
question about that.
Mom brought you in here, but your wife is supposed to roll with you
Yes.
from now until.
You didn't ask your mom to bring you here, but you did ask your wife to marry you.
Well,
Yeah.
and also the job of the husband when the father passes the wife on to you for you to make her number one in your life.
Well, that gets
Replace
lost
him.
in translation.
That's a good point.
Because now,
That's your role.
Yeah.
Like literally, your role is to step in as father.
absolutely.
That's why the
But
mom
dudes
supposed to
don't
be
even
a
think
gift.
about
Yeah.
that. And the sad part is you got cats who will move in with a chick. Damn. Mike always say every episode I throw somebody under the bus, so I will leave this
Yeah,
name out.
please leave the name out.
But now dudes will go in, they'll move a chick in with them and don't think about, yo, she's my
You
responsibility.
should drop the name, son. Get
Nah,
your
nah,
shit
nah.
off. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit off, dog. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not gonna do that to him. But I always
Podcast rockets.
look. I asked.
Take
I was
off.
asking my wife. We was talking about somebody, and I was like, "Yo, do you ever think that person looked at this chick and said, yo, I'm moving her in. She's my responsibility." Or they look at it as like, yo, she's my roommate. That's my chick. We moving in. We staying together. And then I think that gets lost in translation with my generation and the one under it.
Do you
Because
think
nowadays,
boys view it differently? Just a question.
Well, I
They
mean,
gonna
yeah,
jump
they,
your
they
ass
put their
after this
mothers
pot.
first. You know what I mean? Then, yeah.
mama boys don't put their mamas first. Stop that shit, Mike. This the toxic masculinity bullshit that
There's
he
no
be
such
mad-
thing as toxic masculinity.
Yeah, whatever, Mike.
Yeah, there is
No,
no, such thing
no
as
such
toxic
thing.
Mike told us
masculinity on that
last
shit.
week that y'all generation wasn't homophobic either. He tried to get that bullshit off too. Mike know good and damn well.
We have never
a
separated. No,
difference.
what I said is that we've never separated black from queerness. We've never separated that. We've never did that.
Thank you, Jeremiah. You wanna address it or what?
The fuck you asked me for?
Because you stared at him. You gave him a side eye.
Yeah.
Because when Mike watch it back, he gonna be like, "Why Jeremiah give me the side eye? Like, what the fuck you talking about?"
No, that
I was
was
thinking about
my whole point. Is that we've never separated two.
Except the church, right?
Whenever we talk about any issue regarding black men, that includes all black men. That includes every single black man.
Mike could be cool with a chick talking about her pussy, but a dude say he like to get his dick sucked by other men. Mike got a problem with it. But hey, I ain't separating
okay, first off,
homosexuality.
where am I
from the
having this
person.
conversation?
I'm telling you.
Where am I having this conversation?
Cause I'm putting my feet to the fire today. Cause he be saying some bullshit and be thinking that shit just slide.
Call the police. Shots fired.
Yeah.
No, because he's never heard that. Right? You've never
let y'all
heard me
have
say
that
that. You never heard me say
Okay,
that.
Mike. Okay. Cool. We'll go with that one too. But nah, I do think it get lost with the younger kids now. They don't look at it like that. It's hard for them to say that, oh, they wife come first. And then, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it, but a lot of them are getting married, so I hope some of them do see it that way.
I think it's hard if you've never seen a person.
Facts.
Your mom is a wife.
Absolutely.
It's hard to know what you should be doing.
And moving somebody in ain't the same as marrying them either.
Well,
shacking up ain't the same as
facts.
being married.
I agree with it, but
it should quote. I mean, it should be. I mean, why isn't the girl? Why her being your girl ain't the same?
true. Well, she ain't my responsibility. That's her dad's responsibility in my life.
I'm saying if you move her in, what makes her your responsibility? I mean, that's the thing. What makes her your responsibility?
See, I see it that way. You know what I'm saying? It was a reason why me and my wife got married, and it didn't. Excuse me. So before we got married, it was only a few months that I was like, yo, you can move in. Cause I'm like, I don't need that responsibility right now. Cause I understood it. You know, when I was younger, my pops made it clear, like, yo, it's me and your mom and y'all after that. Like, it's your mom, it's y'all. Even though, you know what I'm saying, she's my responsibility. Not her dad, she's not her dad's responsibility, whatever. And he just instilled in me, like, yo, when you got women around you, you know what I'm saying, once you do go to that level, like, you got to be ready.
Time out, though. Like, I think that as a society, we paint marriage in this broad stroke that a man is supposed to take a woman, like choose a woman, and he does everything. He takes care of everything, right? I've had conversations with Micah, and Micah, it almost like that comes out of him as well. Like, that's his view on marriage.
Yeah.
Right? But when you read Proverbs 31 and you read that description of, you know, he who finds a wife, right, and how rare it is, there's a whole list of things that woman does to contribute directly to her household. A whole bunch of things.
Oh, yeah, facts.
So on one hand, we kind of talk about marriage in layman's terms, like you're supposed to be able to, like, wife a chick and do everything. But then when you actually open up the book, you know, when you actually open up the Bible, where is that?
What's that?
That's not necessarily how marriage is portrayed in the Bible.
It's not one.
Well, I think most of the time, if we're talking about the things that we're doing, this is if you have a good woman, what you got to do to keep a good woman.
Yeah, but it also, the way it's written, right? That rare woman more precious than rubies, is that what it says? She's also like straight up devoted to her household.
She's devoted.
See, it also says that she works. It describes her working in the Bible.
Yeah.
So where does the notion come that a woman doesn't do anything?
I don't
that's
think we
not what I
ever
was saying.
say that they shouldn't
but I
do
think
anything.
the difference is though work versus money though. Like we live in a society that's really focuses on the money piece. Back then, there wasn't any money to be exchanged. She worked to provide things for the household, but she wasn't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Where now women are getting paid, so the contribution piece is different, right? So if a man comes in and the expectation is for him to financially take care of everything, she feels like she doesn't have to do anything.
Thank you. So is the structure that we talk about, is that biblical or is it societal?
I think it's societal more so now.
Yeah, I think we're definitely societal.
People don't even read the Bible.
Nah, these niggas believe in crystals.
Well, no one reads the Bible in general. Like that just
They believe in
or the
crystals.
Quran,
And I don't have
or the Vedas.
Mercury is in retrograde.
And I don't have the
the
answer.
Pentateuch.
I don't
No
have
one
the answer.
reads at all.
I don't have the answer. I just wanted to ask the question. You know, like I don't really have the answer to that.
Well, I mean, like, to your point, when we had a conversation, like I do see myself as being the type of like, all right, I do want to provide, right? I don't want to have the pressure of relying on her when I can provide that, right? So if it's just money, okay, I can provide the money, the protection, you know, even to help with the kids, right? What I'm looking for is more of the Proverbs 31 thing, right? I don't need her to go out and be a boss chick. You know what I'm saying? I need her to be a good wife to me.
Yeah, but the Proverbs 31 actually described like a superwoman though.
Yeah, she was doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, that
really
list
was.
was like super long.
She really was though.
But I mean, we would all say that that's a good woman, right? And we all see, you know, Proverbs 31 in, you know, women's bios, you know, on Instagram, right?
They didn't read it though.
When you think about Proverbs 31,
They didn't read it.
Agriculture though. We lived in a time of agriculture, so a lot of the shit that she was doing was related to agriculture.
Yes.
Like those things women don't even have to think about doing today. You can just go to the grocery store and get everything you want.
Well, you know, I think one of the things that's left out about Proverbs 31 is that Solomon, black man Solomon, actually says that these were utterance taught to him by his mother. right? So his mother is telling him what to look for in a wife.
Okay.
So I think that small part is left out. So all the things that he's saying that okay, this is the list of things that I'd like for a woman to do. This is what his mother is telling him a good woman looks like. Which we'll go into the topic today. Are we vetting? Are we even capable of vetting? Women. In these days to become wives.
No. We want to go there now?
I don't think so either.
I think it depends on the standard of that man's standard. Like, it depends on the type of woman he likes. Like,
And who was with him and educating him.
yeah. All those things.
Yeah, because it be things
Have influence.
your ignorance will allow you to not even see, that this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, yes, and that's a lot of it is youth too, though. If you do that when you're younger, right? I got married when I was like 22, so hell no, I didn't know what the fuck I was looking for. It's a ton of red flags that I missed, like a ton.
Oh, you saw him?
Hell no, I ignored them.
Yeah, you ignored them.
I ignored them. Yeah. Exactly.
Go.
Green go. But now I can look back and say, damn, I could have dated her and not married her. I think that's how I feel now. It's like, I could have still had that experience, but we just shouldn't have gotten married. That's all. So I think we do have the ability. I think as you mature, you have the ability to vet, but something's getting in your way, right? You could be skewed by the beauty.
Yep.
Or the booty, right? Those are the two things that really make vetting harder as you. I think as your standards.
Or you just don't know what to look for, like you said. I think, and
Real quick, let me jump in. Me
Yeah.
and Micah was going in on this conversation. I asked him, right, like dating at our age is different. So we look at time differently. So I challenged him and I was just like, do you date a chick for 5 years before you marry her?
Not at
He
our
said
age.
no.
Yeah.
He said no. So like what's the most powerful tool for vetting a person though?
dating them.
Time.
Yeah.
Time.
Dating them for that time.
You know what I'm saying? So
facts.
like when you say 5 years is too long, it's like, it's easy for you to get got. It's easy for you to fall in love with a person's representative. We ain't even giving them
No time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that, to Eugene's point, right, we ignore a lot of red flags, right? And I think it becomes easier. I always say on this pod, what do y'all do for 8, 9s, and 10s? I always say this. You fold.
Yeah.
Like, you
Everybody
fold
will.
for 8, 9s, and 10s, man. So, I think it's easier to vet when it's 4, 5s, and 6. But I think that the more, like Eugene said, right, the beauty or the booty, right? The more, great the sex is, the more attractive she is, the more that you sit there and ignore shit that you know that you shouldn't be ignoring.
Yeah,
That's why
man.
I
But
said standards, man.
we also say that a person you need to experience a person in all 4 seasons, and sometimes like the duration of that, like getting to that, takes a while.
It takes time, like because everybody can stay in a relationship when it's great,
Yes.
but when
You
it's
don't
bad,
think there's clues though, like prior to?
It depends on how much time we talking, Baraka. Like if we're not really giving enough time, if shit may not really show up. You might not see a bunch of red flags in 2 years. You might not.
I'm gonna call. I ain't gonna call BS, but I'm gonna call B. On that.
Okay, explain.
Because again, I think as men, I think sometimes we lie to ourselves and we're using way more hope than what we should in these situations. I don't think anybody can.
Let me ask you a
pretend
question.
that
It's not a
long.
Let
strategy.
me ask you a
Yeah.
question, right? There's no scientific fact, but in your opinion, your point of view,
Yeah.
do women know what we want? Do
No.
they know?
No.
You don't think women know what we want?
No.
So when you get mad at a woman, what does she do?
Stop talking.
Well,
Shuts down.
oftentimes she might flip her behavior and start doing everything that you want.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I didn't seen that happen.
So
Facts.
she knows what you want. No?
Yeah, I mean,
We've talked about this. She
yeah.
knows exactly what you like.
But-
she may not always do it.
But okay, so to that point though, right? Like, I think we as men we've reached this place where we're so used to being half loved and half respected that we do accept. So, like for instance, if you said, "Well, she turns her behavior, she started doing what you need, right, or what you like, right?" We don't even say need anymore because God forbid men have any fucking needs, But if she does flip it and she does those things and that makes you stay, the truth of the matter is, if she's revoking that respect you need, that adoration you need, that love you need, you honestly, that is a red flag, right? Like that's something that should not be ignored.
That is.
and we are ignoring it then.
That's a different point though. The point that I was making in bringing that up is women, if not given enough time, a person can show up as everything that you want. Like a woman can show up, being that we're all men. A woman can show up and be everything, appear to be everything that you want. The point that's the point. They know.
Yes.
They do know. Whether or not they always show it is different.
Or
Time,
capable of
dog.
it. I mean, like
But
maybe
nobody's perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody can show up that way all the time. But I do agree that they do know, but you still need time for them to for that true self to show up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
like
the point that I'm trying to get to.
definitely is there for the majority of the time when it's when it's the newness. Like until the newness wears off. Like, cause I mean, even in
And you saying 5 years is too long.
and think about
So
it.
what's enough time to vet someone?
so okay.
They call 5 years is still considered the honeymoon phase.
But yeah.
What's enough time to vet someone?
All right, so back to the question, are we capable of vetting? Perhaps we're leaving out the most major part in here because at the end of Proverbs 31, when he tells you to praise her, but right before that, it says charm is deceptive. So what we're talking about right now,
It's
right,
charm.
is that she's being deceptive. Beauty is fleeting, right? Because we clearly have said that, we fold for beauty, right? It says, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. Now, I don't mean to bring religion into this, but perhaps if a woman is not in order with the Creator themselves, perhaps that is the red flag of whether or not you should be moving forward with that woman or not.
What does that look like, though? I mean,
Okay, there you go.
what does that look like?
I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Spirituality is different for everybody.
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
So I think that that's a great point, though, because I think that it goes down to discipline.
Yeah.
Like the religion element that you were introducing
Yeah.
is more of a catalyst for discipline. So whether or not it's Christianity or anything else or any other religion, where does the woman get the discipline from?
Yeah, no, take Christianity out of it,
Exactly.
right? So we're talking about, it says, a woman that fears the Lord. So whatever you think that is, right? But it's going to have to align with what you believe, though, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you believe.
But you're using Christian scripture.
Yeah, that's what. That's
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
no, but
tricky
this
part.
is, first off, it's not scripture. This is Solomon writing a proverb. That's not the same.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible, but this isn't Christian. This isn't scripture. This is a proverb. This is him writing wisdom for future generations.
Fuck me up with that one, but I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
imagining, and you know more about it than I do, but I'm imagining if somebody is Buddhist and they don't believe that.
Well, it's not.
Then
It's
they
not
won't-
believe that, right? Because so Buddha is a prince, right? So he's royalty.
understand.
So there's a good chance that Buddha and Solomon, if they're in the same time frame, are having these very similar conversations
Yeah.
because that's who kings deal with, right? Like that's where the ideal of chess come from. They didn't
Yeah.
play chess. With
Now,
nobody.
your main point, I think what we're trying to get to is
So take Christianity out of it.
Absolutely.
Don't let that
Yeah.
trip you up, right?
Yeah.
So take what Jeremiah just said, the ideal of discipline, right?
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is that someone that believes that there's something that exists outside of themselves that's going to force
absolutely.
them.
If y'all not on the same page,
Yeah,
then,
you know what I'm
then-
saying, to
and
do
I
the
think that's what
things that they
Eugene was
wanna
getting
do.
at.
So she
Yeah,
an atheist?
But forcing versus actually being like willing.
Well, her discipline
Right.
is what forcing her. Right?
Yeah.
It's not you.
Yeah, it's not really forced though. It's more of
I
a
agree with that.
willingness.
I agree with that. It's not necessarily forced.
not-
It's
Okay,
more
well, a willingness.
Like
a commitment.
Or a commitment.
devotion.
to it.
Yeah, those words.
Yeah, because if you're as men, right?
Yeah.
As men, to be disciplined means you're committed to a certain like to uphold a certain standard for yourself.
Yeah.
That's before you interact with anyone else. That's before that standard. Like that standard is gonna, and we've talked about this. That standard is going to interact with the public. Period. Like this is just who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's getting us a little bit closer.
So a person needs to be demonstrating those qualities
So what does that look like?
like all the time.
No,
We're back to that. Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying,
What
how
In
do you-
today's time,
Savannah
though.
James.
So what?
Great. I think
Savannah.
that's a good option.
Savannah James.
I like that.
Shout out to LeBron and Savannah. LeBron's wife.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I guess now I'm being like Gavin, it's pissing me off. What
Join
what
the
does
crew.
that look like when you describe, like if you were describing that to your son and your son was telling you like, I met this woman.
Yeah.
How would you get that out of him to say, does she have this particular principle?
So if we go up higher,
Devoted to the relationship.
yeah.
Devoted to
what
the
does that
relationship. Like
What characteristics would you
that's going to be different for each man, but each man measures how intentional she is in her relationship for the relationship.
Well, black
That looks
man
different for
yeah.
that looks different. That may look different for all of us.
Black man Solomon said she brings him good, not harm, in all the days of her life, right?
Yes.
So again, I think
Yes.
if you go through
That's
this
devotion.
this proverb, he's given us all the telltale signs
Yes.
of what it looks like, right? But are we, again, my question is, are we capable of men when we don't see this, right? And she is freaking stunning, right? Do we have the capability of not impregnating her and knowing that this is for fun?
According to women, it's their choice, their body. You have nothing to do with that.
I think that's a loaded question.
That's
man.
what they
You know what I'm saying?
Loaded
Like,
question.
you know, so when this doesn't lines up, right? You know, where, you know, she gets up while it's at night and she provides food for her family, right? This is what Solomon's mother is telling him, right? Not his dad. So when we see this list of things, and then we meet, you know, a woman that's not lined up with that, but she is, oh my God, she's so fine, right? Are we capable as men of not getting her pregnant, not hoping that she's going to change, not, you know, tricking out all of our, you know, credit cards and stuff trying to get her? Do we have the capacity to be like, yo, this is not a woman for me in my life?
A disciplined man. I think a disciplined man
So
can.
obviously that's not true.
I think a man who's a disciplined man that is in a place in his life where he knows what he wants.
Yes.
Because when I think the term you said, she provides him good and not harm.
Yeah.
Like I like that, and you take everything else out because everything else it's skewed based on the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but good not harm is a simple way of saying, hey, a woman who is, you know, wants the best for you and is pouring into your life, right? As you pour into hers.
Yeah.
So if a woman is doing that consistently and a man, you know, is in a place where, you know, he recognizes that, if a woman shows up who's fine, but she's not doing that, I think he is going to be able to, you know, step away.
Do we have the ability to step away?
Yes, it's not but so many 10s out here.
I don't
Let's
think-
keep
no,
it
no,
real.
but it-
just
It's only
attractive
but
in
so
general.
many 7s to 10s that's out here, and it's only a smaller amount of men that has access to those 7 to 10s.
Agreed.
So with that, I'm looking at it as like, all right, do you have something? Men are going to sleep with them. Most men are going to fall. Majority of men who encounter those women are going to sleep with them. Now, it's up to him to put on a condom, make sure he don't get her pregnant. But after that, I don't see a lot of those men running around and saying, yo, I'm going to marry her.
Sleeping and wifing her is totally different.
Totally
right?
different,
So
yeah.
we're talking about, and we kind of talked about this off air, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a guy who's in a city like, you know, New York, LA, Atlanta, and you got 8, 9s, and 10s everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're more prominent. I don't think he's going to have a woman show up who doesn't have these qualities and say, oh yeah, I'm a wifer. Right?
Yeah.
Because he has access to more.
But for every 9 or 10 that's in Miami,
I didn't say Charlotte.
I didn't get
Nah,
there
we
yet.
don't-
I didn't get there yet.
it's only a couple of y'all who are listening.
It's only a few.
I've taken the pictures of. Let me put it like this though. But like for every one of those chicks, it's literally 10 dudes to her. You know what I'm saying? Whether with money and who really can make her say yes. Because you could have everything you want and want to marry her, and she can look at you and say, nah, bro,
Yeah,
I'm
good.
for the streets.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I don't
Hold
want
on.
you
You talking about Charlotte, or you just saying that in general?
in general.
Okay.
We know we're not talking about Charlotte. We
Yeah,
know
it's
we
only
in
10
Charlotte.
bad bitches here.
I'm not that hard on Charlotte, man.
Nah, it's only 10.
Charlotte, man.
10.
I'm not
It's
that hard
10.
on. And see, and I'm the asshole, and I'd be like, nah, man,
I
it's
think-
not like that.
It's only 10
I think
here.
a lot of that has to do with age too, though. If we were younger, I think this is more plentiful.
Well, I mean, me and Jeremiah had this conversation. When
Really?
when you get older, it should be harder. It's supposed to be because, truth be told, we're not meant to be alone, right? Like, this idea that we should be settling down at 45 and 50, that is a little out of order. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be more disciplined. You know, as younger men, right? We're not really having these conversations. Whether you go to church or you don't go to church. You know, men aren't really having these conversations. There's really not a place where men could be vulnerable with each other and be like, man, this is what I'm dealing with, right? You know, when Unc see you bring the girl home, he like, I see you, nephew, right? He don't know how that girl act.
Crazy.
He don't know the argument y'all done had on the way
On the
to
way there.
grandma's house, right? He don't know
She
any
got
of
an
that,
IQ
right?
of 12.
You know, but when he says, you know, don't do that.
Okay.
But when he
Wait, what?
says, I
Never
see you, nephew, we feel good,
feel good,
right?
yeah.
We feel good. So are we gonna get to the point where we do start having these conversations with our young men?
Yeah, that's what gonna be my question.
Or is this the conversation that the mother is supposed to have with the young men?
Or the daddy.
Or the daddy?
Like, we got to start putting some responsibility on the dads. Like, you got to start having that with your brothers, with your nephews, with your sons. Because if not, then the women don't care. It's not their responsibility. Like, I'm sorry to say it. You know what I'm saying? But because
There
for
ain't a whole bunch of Proverbs 31 women walking around here. Mikey keeps referencing that. There ain't a whole bunch of that.
but it ain't a whole
Well,
bunch
he
of
already
husbands
told you
around
it was
here
rare
either.
as rubies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I
He
mean,
didn't say it was everywhere. He
How many
clearly
men-
said he started with that.
absolutely.
I'm
But
agreeing.
you gotta think about it.
That's what I
It's
said.
less men out here, and then think about how many dudes that you know that you like. Yo, bruh gonna be a great husband.
Yeah.
It's less than the women I know who I'm thinking gonna make a great wife. I'm just being honest for me. Like, I be looking at dudes and like, you know, y'all generation, sorry to go back to it, but like y'all generation, y'all not running to say, I need to be 50-50 with a woman. That is the lingo now. You know what I'm saying? That's
What you
just,
talking about? What you talking about? That's a lingo now.
these young boys, they don't go into providing. That's not their mindset.
Yeah, but every podcast clip that I see popping up randomly on my timeline is anti 50-50.
These niggas is lying. Okay? That's what I'm telling you.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
they know they
touche.
lying. They don't, he looking, cause he my age, he know, bro, they not trying to provide. It's really like, you know, and the dudes who aren't, they gone off the market quick. The chicks who for that, they gone. As soon as they graduate, walk across that stage in college, they are gone. Those dudes, they are getting married quick, who are providing, who are great men. So then you get left with what's left.
Who raised those, Gavin?
And I don't know. Y'all generation, to be honest, they y'all kids.
Man, it's fucked up out here.
It's rough. That's why I'm glad I'm married.
All age
It's
groups.
rough. But that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all are looking to say, hey, we want to provide. We gonna be husbands. Y'all generation has the most husbands that's out there.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Part two
And
of
it
the
goes
question
down.
is: are we overlooking women that are providing this? And if so, why?
Looks.
The packaging.
They gone.
There you go.
The packaging.
No, I think to his point, right? Like the packaging, like looks makes a difference. I mean, that's just
Cuz this man, shut the fuck up.
nah. It is like you can shut up, but we're just trying to be unspoken.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
Same reason I said earlier about
Yes.
younger women is I think this the beauty I think is in the younger generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but that doesn't mean that they have those qualities either, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting.
that's what I'm saying.
Right?
So it's still the same rules are applying it just at different levels. So as you get older, the beauty fleets.
Yes.
And now those women act a little bit different.
And the thing is,
now they have those qualities.
yes. And it's like, yo, these are
No,
the
they don't.
qualities that we're looking for. So again, as men, again, this is my question. Like, are we even vetting properly? I think that I say that we're not. I say that we are chasing the wrong thing. We are going after the wrong thing. We are not providing the things that we need so a woman can be a Proverbs woman. That's what I'm saying. And should we start having this conversation more, perhaps, and see if we can get better at this and have our young men better at this? Because truth be told, I mean, I do think that part of the problems that we have in the black community when it comes to wealth is the fact that we're just not married.
I agree with that.
Like I seriously believe that that's
I
part of the
definitely
problem.
agree with that.
Now, I'm gonna shoot men a little bail, on here. I
The
do
bail
think,
bondsman.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna shoot my black man some bail. I do think part of it is that the fact we spoke about this off air is I don't think anybody would start a business and partner up with a litigious partner, right? Like if you had a partner that was constantly suing people and being sued and was always in court, nobody would be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start a business with that person," right? Because you all automatically know you're going to court, right? And I think that right now in America, it's a litigious environment for men, right? If it's not child support court, it's custody court. If it's not custody court, it's divorce court. It's alimony, it's dividing of assets. Nobody wants to be with a litigious partner. So I'm gonna shoot men some bail. I get the hesitation, but I think part of it is the fact that we are ignoring the red flags and we're marrying, women on other things outside of being a Proverbs 31 woman.
So is the
You think they really marrying these chicks?
That's what I was about to say. Is the
They
rate
not
of
marrying
marriage
them,
up or
dog.
down? That's what I was about to say.
They
Is
not
the rate
marrying
of people
them.
getting married up or down right now? No.
Oh, it's definitely down.
I
It's
don't
down,
know.
but here's the thing though: divorce rates are actually down as well. So
Because
people,
less people are getting married.
well, no, people that want to be married to get married now. Right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
like the rate is down, not like the total number, like the percentage. Like the rate of divorce is going down to people getting married. So
Right.
I do think that people that want to be married are still getting married. And economically, the higher up you go in economics, the more likely people are to be married.
I totally agree.
Like
with that
I
too.
think people think that I think I had read where they were saying the more likelihood of a woman having a PhD. It might have been black women the least likelihood of her getting married, right? So I just went and like, Googled it and like pulled up the United States Census 2016 numbers, but
Like a shit right there.
I couldn't find the latest census, but it was 2016, and 71% of all PhDs are married, right? So it's literally just a lie, right? That the higher up you go in education, the least likely you are to get married. 71% of people that have PhDs are married. Now,
It's only 2% of the population with PhD.
yeah, but I'm saying the ideal that the higher you go in education, the least likely you are to get married, right? That ideal is wrong, right? So to your point, yeah, it's a very small subset, but then we like to blanket whenever we get the negative part across all the population.
Yeah, but I also think you need to unpack of that percentage how many of them are men or women. Because a man is definitely more likely, he's going to get married, right? It doesn't change for him. A PhD that's a man, it doesn't change for him. But a PhD that's a woman, and I've seen this recently, I saw this conversation being had recently,
Yeah.
whereas women want us to be above and beyond them in like every fucking major category.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
that's the
she's
argument for the week.
So if she's a PhD, then the air gets thinner for her in that pool, like the selection.
Well, I mean, look,
So I'm saying I can see it being a little bit difficult for.
But,
Yeah.
but that would fall on them because, so to your point, yeah, the men probably are still getting married, but I'm pretty sure the men are not marrying other PhDs.
I agree with that.
Right?
For sure.
They're probably marrying.
I would
down.
love to know how many of them are married before they get their PhD though, because I imagine that number is very high.
Yeah, I'll probably assume because I would assume
Yeah,
getting a
true.
PhD is a lot easier if everything at home is
It's
good.
balanced. Yeah,
Our
absolutely.
standards are different though. Like what we require
Facts.
as men is just it's different. We don't. Sometimes we do live in a fantasy world, but for the most part, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We accept reality as it is. So if you have a woman who is a waitress and you have a PhD, like
Yeah.
you're accepting of where
Where she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So again, but again though, if you're saying, all right, the equality is here, I'm doing the same thing that you're doing, well, you also have to do the same thing that I'm doing when it comes to marriage, right? So if you get to the top and you need to marry down, that's going to have to be something that you do, because when I get to the top, if I marry down, that's something that I'm having to do, right? That's the era that you're in once you reach this level.
Yeah.
But again, I think we apply these broad strokes. Valid question though, percentage of men to women. But at the end of the day, if you're going to get to the same places that men get to, and you're going to say, all right, well, I'm gonna do the same thing men do. Well, there's no one to marry above a PhD once you get there, right?
I mean, there's different levels of PhD.
Yeah. I mean, you got a PhD in English. English majors are killing us right now in philosophy. But if you and one's an engineer, then obviously the engineering PhD is going to make a fuck ton more money than the English major PhD. But still, there's going to be an imbalance in that marriage. So the economics of marriage really can't come into us vetting a woman, right? Like I can't look at how much money she make or don't make and be like, well, this is going to, I guess, help me make my decision.
Man, you better. I ain't do that.
I mean,
Bruh, I did not do that. Cause I didn't get married thinking I wanted to take care of a woman. Like, I didn't want to do that. I'm willing to provide. I provided my household, but I'm not taking care of nobody just to sit on their ass. And I think that's the thing. Like,
Well, when you say sit on their ass, like that's not what women who stay at home do. Homemakers.
well,
That's not what they do.
but you thinking about if kids are involved.
Even if children are not involved, it's still not.
So if my wife, if we don't have kids and she's sitting at home, what is she doing?
Well, hold on. But I'm saying,
That's what I'm thinking of. It ain't but so much
Go ahead, I
cleaning.
want to hear this answer.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Because
Wait.
I know personally when it was time for me to get married, I wasn't married a woman with a kid. And so then now we're married and what are you doing at home? I'm getting up at 7, I'm coming home at 6. What have you been doing if it's no kids here?
I'm saying, but she's like
I'm just asking, what is a woman with no kids doing
going to the grocery store.
every day?
Not every day, but she's still maintaining things in the house. She may be making you lunch.
Man, she use an Instacart.
Facts.
Right? She's cleaning the house. She may be like, if you're in a position, like that, she may be dedicating her time and energy to some sort of charitable, making the society better. I don't like this idea that.
Hey, that sound real good.
It sounds real
an ideal.
good.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm
That's
saying,
an ideal though.
But I'm saying, if you're saying, well, she is at home, and if she's preparing to have children,
Yeah, I get you on that.
then she has to do the things that are required to do that, to get herself in a routine, a schedule to create, because she's, gonna
So what happens on Tuesday? Because all that is happening on Monday.
Hey, he's talking about a Proverbs 31 woman.
Look, cool.
That's what that is.
So
It
here's
is.
my thing.
That's
when
what that is, though.
When I got married, I looked at it and I wanted, I was very clear with my wife. Like, yo, you need to go get you a car, because she was living in Uptown. She didn't have a car. She didn't need one. She worked in Uptown. She went to school in Uptown. She was good. You need to do that. It was like, yo, you need to go get this type of certain job. It's not like you have to go get, you need to work here, do this. But it was like, yo, you're going to have bills that you're going to create for yourself. I need you to be able to take care of that. And it was certain things that we did, because I was like, if you're not going to send me out to work, because we seen that generations before us. I watched my dad overwork. You know what I'm saying? I watched my grandfather married overwork. And I was like, I refuse to be that man, because that's just not who I'm setting myself up to be.
That's the burden of man, right? That's why we're stronger than women, right? Our bones are more denser.
Yeah. But this ain't slave times either.
Yeah,
though.
that's a different time,
But and I'm not. When I say work, I don't mean like
Physical.
clearing a
Yeah,
forest.
I get you. I'm making
I'm
jokes.
just saying that like our design is to do that.
Yeah.
right?
And
that is
see-
why we can't have children.
And I
Yeah.
don't think men are trying to marry kept women per se, right? Like that we're talking about a minority of a minority,
Right.
So I don't think that women are just sitting home not doing anything. This is coming from me. Y'all always say I'm the hardest on women.
You are.
I'm really not.
I don't
If we took a vote right now, who's saying Mike first in the hardest on women?
So I know, but I'm saying I don't think that women are sitting home
Thank you.
and not doing.
Thank you. All
anything.
four of us raised our hand.
Yeah, fuck all y'all. But
No, I'm not saying they're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like for me, and I understand, like, shout out to my wife. She's probably definitely watching. But like my wife out earns me.
yeah,
And that's cool for me.
yes.
Now, when you go home, you can ask her what percentage of bills you think you pay. She's gonna probably tell you 10. You know what I'm saying? But she out earns me. But for me, I'm like, she has a way nicer car than me. I wasn't paying that car note. You know what I'm saying? Like it was certain things that she like. My wife, she's so bougie, she don't eat leftovers. I'm not paying for groceries, bro. Like we not doing that. But I knew that. I didn't want to become that person. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that made me a better man, that I didn't want to come home every day and be like, yo, you sitting in the same seat you was in when I came home. I didn't want to be that man either, because I've seen other men who I knew, not my father per se, but I knew men that would come home like that. And I was like, I do not want to become that guy either.
To defend
we
you,
talked about
Gavin.
vetting though, right?
To defend Gavin, she considered the field and buys it. Out of her earnings,
Who said
she
this?
plants a vineyard.
Who said this? My
Proverbs
mother-in-law.
31, man. Solomon.
Oh,
Black
I
man
thought
Solomon talking.
my mother-in-law watching this too. So I was like, oh shit. She probably said some
Yo,
slick shit.
That's what the fuck I be talking about. Like people be
Skipping
claiming
over
that
that.
shit. Yeah,
They
man.
skip all over
Like,
that. Yeah.
There's a lot of
They speed read it.
Yeah.
They definitely.
They never even get that far down. That's at the
No,
bottom.
no.
That is at the bottom, yo.
They stop right after this.
But
The
that
sentence they
also-
love, they stop.
But
Yeah.
the challenge in there, man, this may be a conversation for another day. A lot of that shit, contradicts what Micah want for himself, though. Like that shit right there that you
People
just
love
read.
taking shots.
Nah,
Y'all love taking
we
shots.
hold each other accountable.
Yeah,
We hold each other accountable.
He want the 50s with no racism. That's what he
I'm
wants.
just saying.
And black ball players in the NFL and NBA.
So the
Facts.
challenge though,
He doesn't want that.
the challenge is is in love with love. That type of woman that is subscribing don't even want to just sit home and do nothing. So are you gonna give her enough, room to show up authentically and do the things that she wants to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's not saying I'm gonna stay home and be pregnant all fucking time.
I don't want a woman to
Barefooted
stay home with
pregnant.
barefooted pregnant. No, but what I do is
You want to go to high school graduation at 63.
I'm probably gonna
He
be at a
is.
high school
No,
graduation
he's not.
with
I'm
my
not
child.
letting that shit happen.
Yeah,
I'm not pushing Mike in a wheelchair at his son's
I
graduation.
would not be in a wheelchair at
would not be in a
63,
wheelchair.
man. 83 maybe.
Modern
Yeah.
medicine would be advanced.
He's still mad.
But,
good to go.
But my whole thing is that what I always say is at the end of the day, like the buck stops here, right? Like the CEO, you get fired if the directors are fucking up, whether you knew it or not, right? Because you're responsible. No one look at a home falling apart and says, "Damn, I wondered if the wife was working." Right? No one does that, man. So if you know what I'm saying, so if you know that, right, societally, you have to say, all right, the responsibility has to be on me. And so to this woman right here, if we read everything else right, and like this woman is earning, right, and she's able to create from her earnings.
Yep.
You
Shout out
got
to
to
my
make
wife.
sure that she still does the rest, right? Because if she's earning and she's creating from her earnings, and then she doesn't do the rest. Again, are we vetting that woman out, right? Like if the idea is, like, hey, she's just making great money and she can provide her own, so she don't have to do any of these other things. That's not capable. That's not right either.
So since no woman is here, let me ask a question, right? If she's doing all of that, what is a man doing?
Nothing.
That's the question.
He working, and that's
So he's
and not
working.
y'all, but these kids my age in that generation right under, bruh. The problem is these women are making a little bit less than us, and we have to go out and date, so it's coming out of our salary
Yeah.
and everything. So at the end of it, we're making less
We're
than
making
them,
less,
or
but
right
then-
at,
because
let's
we
say right at
subsidize them.
absolutely. So then, or you subsidize 5 other chicks, and the chick who wants you now, y'all making the same. And so then they're doing 50-50. That's why dudes are definitely cool with that, because women treat us equal, whatever. Well, here's equal to bills, so you doing equal to stuff. And then it's like, how are you asking your wife to, you got to sit here, cook, clean, raise the kids, put them to bed, help them with their homework, and I'm over here on 2K. And that's what's happening. That's a reality of it. And it's just,
Are men really at home on 2K while they
bro, they
busting
killing
their
that
ass?
shit. Yes, dog. I'm telling you.
Then y'all need to stop complaining because y'all got it made.
Well, these chicks are, that's true. But see, this goes to me and your other topics. They want submission.
Yeah, you're not
And-
getting submission
and-
from
and
that.
that's
Yeah.
the dudes
You're
who-
not getting submission from that.
When
Yeah.
you see these dudes in the comments and they be bitching at me,
Yeah,
ask
yeah, yeah.
them what they do, how much they girl make, and when the last time
Oh,
they
yeah,
played
that-
2K.
that is
They gonna say,
nuts.
yeah.
That is nuts.
And so now it's just different.
No
But,
wonder the Misanders out here saying that them black women being mean.
man, they said I misspelled.
I ain't know. I'm sorry, I didn't know what was going on like
Oh,
that.
it's going down. Now, here's my thing. Why do we have a problem with talking to our guys, and especially the younger cats, and letting them know, like, yo, hey, bro, you messing up, or this is wrong, or you, because, and I'm well, here's the thing. I know he spoke to his brother because I knew his brother before I knew him. And I don't know this answer, but I'm like, did you talk to your nephews or your cousins? And like, cause for me, my dad was very prevalent in my life, right? So he talked to me. I was dating a chick. He said, yo, you need to drop her today. You know what I'm saying? He looked at me when I was dating my wife. He was like, yo, you don't lose it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watched my dad try to talk to my cousins. Now, with that, my uncles never spoke to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm imagining that Mike was probably speaking to his brother, who was always speaking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was different. And then me and Mike got to a relationship. He like, hey, bruh, you fucking up. You got it right. So I wondered, like, but for me, and I guess I'm asking this for me because I look at people in my life who are younger than me, and bruh, sometimes I be wanting to say shit, and then, I know I come on here and piss Mike off, but yo, you talk to these young kids, you talk to these young cats, they don't listen to shit. And you get aggravated. So I know why y'all get aggravated with them, because they
Nah, but a lot
7
of that
years.
is proximity, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you are, like, so Micah had proximity to his brother. Like, that's a personal relationship. So if his brother is going off in the deep end, he could personally reel him in. Same thing with you and Micah. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm talking to some dude I don't know who just sitting there twisting in his hair, you know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
gonna kill you for that.
yo, like, I can't really, like, personally go at him. I don't, the proximity isn't there.
You had a cachet for that.
Yeah,
Is it
we-
delivery?
Yeah, the social cachet. But, to our point, when we was at Havana and we spoke to the young brother there,
Yeah.
we let them know that, like, yo, this is the expectation of men. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't think
Absolutely.
that I just think that as men, or quote unquote, I won't call myself a good man, but I think I'm decent.
You
Try to be
good.
righteous,
You mean,
right?
but you good.
But I think that we felt uncomfortable correcting one another when it comes to certain things, right? Or even challenging one another's, right? Like,
It's that pride, bro.
I walk in here and y'all challenge me. If I say the sky blue, y'all be like, fuck that shit. Because y'all challenge me, right? Like, no matter what.
Definitely.
And
me.
I
What time
don't,
of day it is?
Definitely
Is it
me.
midnight?
yeah, sky still be blue.
Here we
Black to
go.
me.
Here we go.
Right? So, so I think that sometimes, that friendship, you can challenge. But
That's the proximity I'm talking
yeah,
about.
you're right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
But even outside of as a community, we got to get back to the point.
We've lost the influence though.
There you go.
We've lost the influence.
We've
Like-
lost the ability to speak on
Yeah.
anything at all
talking about
without
being
fear
black
of being
men?
canceled.
Talking about black men.
I was gonna
specifically.
Black
there.
men specifically.
Yeah.
I was gonna go just on, like, there's no dads around.
Yeah.
Like, my dad, it's different for me, and I understand everybody didn't have this, but I grew up in the church where I was raised that, such and such dad can tell you what to do. You know, I also grew up, we in our neighborhood, this adult, they can check you.
Takes a village. Like
Yeah,
that
facts.
used to be the saying, but we don't even have villages anymore. Our community is so broken.
Yes.
That the influence. There's a kid, I was telling Jeremiah about this the other day. There's a kid in my neighborhood, but my next door neighbor's son. Me and him have the same name, right? Mm-hmm. And I was, it's random, right? That we have the same name.
It's your kid.
I see this kid and I see trash in the yard, and I'm like, yo, how many times are you gonna walk by this plastic bottle in your front yard?
Yeah.
Right? And I just for 2 weeks it goes by, right? So I stop him when I see him kicking another plastic bottle down the street one day. I'm like, I'm gonna have to say something.
Yeah.
So I pull him to the side and I was like, yo, your mom said your name is, Eugene. I was like, do you know what your name means, right? And it means noble and of high moral character.
I hate when black people do that to you.
So I had no rapport with the kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to create something that he could connect to.
Absolutely.
So I tell him this, and then I say, with that name, it carries some form of respect, right? You respect yourself, you respect where you live. I was like, it's been a piece of trash sitting in your yard for like a week. You walk by, you don't think you should pick it up? He's like, well, I don't own this place. I said, yeah, but one day you will. And you live in this community. He's like, yeah, but trash. He said, what if trash comes in the yard all the time? I said, well, you just let it pile up.
Yeah.
Like if you see a piece of trash in your yard,
Fact.
this is your community. You still live here. You may not own it.
Yeah.
So he went and eventually he picked it up. I was like, all right, man, look, good chopping it up with you. Like I was like, your mom would appreciate you doing that because you're really the man in the household. There's no man that lives there. It's just you.
You can't call him Eugene now. You got to call him Junior.
I'm your dad now.
But my point is, just the other day I still see trash in the front yard. Though. You feel me?
Gotta stick with him, man.
Like he still didn't.
Damn.
Like he picked up that one.
I was hopeful.
But the influence
I was
again.
hopeful
the
too.
I was all inspired.
I was.
is gone though. The influence is gone. Years ago, if your neighbor told you that,
Yeah, facts.
you're gonna do that the next time. You're
You
not
got
gonna
to.
ever walk past a piece of trash in the yard.
We lived like when people talk about that time, it's like there was segregation, right? So if you was a lawyer, doctor, or the garbage man, right? Y'all lived on the same block, right? And we there's places you just couldn't live. So like we were sort of forced to be a community. We had to be reliant on one another because literally our lives depended on it, right? So once you had the Great Black Flight, right? You can look at like housing prices from like 1967 forward. You can see like where it was high and then it became lower. We lost that part of it because the white man's ice is colder, so we wanted to be a part of a community that we aspired to be a part of, through cultural conditioning.
So how do we get our brothers back to the point that we can start having these conversations as men?
Gotta start talking to 'em,
Because this
dog.
is the thing, as the black community, it's only going to be saved through men,
Facts.
right? Like period, point blank. I mean, we got 50 years of not men,
Right.
and that's,
Hasn't looked great.
I mean, we may be passing with a 69 right now.
We need more podcasts like this.
He said maybe pass with 60.
Maybe passing.
A
With a
part of the problem with our community is the negative side of everything is always promoted, right?
Yes.
So everywhere you look on social media, it's all negative, constant. Like
Mm-hmm.
you, and that's mainstream media. Which podcasts have become now mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
So even the things that we own, white companies end up buying those pages up, and now they're promoting the negativity, right?
Facts.
So I think World Star, I don't know if it's still black owned anymore.
I don't know. Q died, so
He passed, so I think I don't know if another company bought it. My point is, World Star was always negative, but it always got a lot of pub, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you have all these other outlets that give you the same thing. Now you can't just blame hip hop.
Yeah.
You can blame social media though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has to be more podcasts similar to this that are promoting these types of discussions, right?
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of you just gotta take the time and just reach back. And if you take the L, you take the L, but you gotta reach back. And I say that to say like shout out to Michael Hayes. He at Hidden Valley Elementary, and I probably about last year he had me to come and speak to his kids about photography. And because there's this whole notion that we tell kids you gotta go to college, you gotta do this and that. And even though I went to college and I graduated, I chose this career path. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to get here, but kids need to know like, hey, I don't have to go get tens of thousands of dollars in debt. I can do whatever. But, it's hard because sometimes we don't get men who, especially black men, who can say, I'm willing to sacrifice this to go speak to kids that look like me, that are in the same situations as me and everything. And like even me, and I asked that question earlier about like, why are we not talking? Because sometimes I look at myself and be like, why am I not talking? Because I have younger cousins. And I look at them sometimes and I'm like, yo, like, what you doing? That's what I want to say. But then they also have older brothers. And sometimes I'm trying. So that's why I was asking y'all to kind of figure out like, maybe it's something that I've seen before, or how do I get out of that space of saying like, yo, and I know what it is. You just have to start talking to them. You got to be willing to put yourself out there to say, yo, I'm trying to help. Because I know mind you, I grew up in a different time, but it's easy for me to accept stuff coming from men because I don't look at it as though you're trying to son me. I always accept it as though you're trying to help. Now I got to figure out if you know what you're talking about, but that's a whole nother subject, right?
Yeah.
But I'm willing to hear, Mike, I'm meeting him for the first couple of times and he like, yo, short you talking to ain't shit, just to let you know. And we keep it moving. But, and I understood that, yo, he's cool. Like I can understand that. Or Mike meeting somebody and say, yo, you got a good girl. You know what I'm saying? Or, yo, don't do this. One of my favorite stories is when Ez was getting his job, Ez said, yo, the advice he was given was, you don't take the job where you're going to make the less money. You take the job that you're making the most money and you will continue to make more and more money and get better and better jobs in that career path. And he was like, that helped him so much. Who did that come from? It came from two men that he was super close with. You know what I'm saying? But how many dudes are out here, they looking at a certain job or a certain career path or a certain chick and not hearing that, yo, she bad now, bro, but at 40.
Yeah, that bad attitude.
Gonna kick.
That's gonna supersede those looks.
Facts.
At 45. At 25, those looks are superseding that bad attitude. And that's why, I think this season, talking about value and men being able to vet better, right? Like being able to have those conversations. The reason why I want to kind of talk about these type things is because I believe as men we carry, I don't think we really have the ability to have these conversations with one another. But also I think that men not really able to have these conversations with women, right? If you're having a conversation with the woman and then you upset her and now you're apologizing for upsetting her, but you actually came with a valid gripe. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, now you're living in this space where you're compartmentalizing so much that the only thing it's going to do is fuck you up at some point, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, avoid that, right? Like we can get men to avoid that, and part of avoiding that is us understanding, are we properly vetting the women in our lives, right? Not your mama, not your sisters and your cousins, that's family, right? But you literally get to choose everybody.
Bet they ass too.
Right? You get to choose
Facts.
Outside of those women, all the rest of the women you get to choose.
Facts.
And are you vetting women so you're actually bringing value into your life instead of you just bringing in the big booty and the smile into your life, which is fun, right? I would never sit here and lie to any man and say that running through a bunch of gorgeous fat booty women is not fun, right? It is fun.
And all the ass fake now.
Yeah, which is not, I can't imagine that being fun, but because back in the day, it was like, yo, you got the real deal.
These dudes ain't having sex with real ass.
Yeah, so you as men, we got to have this conversation with one another, but we also got to get better to whereas we're not, caboosing ourselves to a toxic train, man. Like, let's get a part of women that actually, want you to communicate with them. Like, I mean, I remember I had a conversation one time, and she was like, you kind of made me upset. But she was like, just give me a moment. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, then I'll be able to talk, right? And then she came back, right? Like, because I'm used to shutting down after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to that conversation is gone. I'm never going to be able to talk again. Fuck it. And then she comes back and say, all right, I kind of took it the wrong way. I know what you meant. It triggered me, and this is why it triggered me. So, and my part in that conversation was, well, I can't say that again. But I appreciate you letting me know that it triggered you and why it triggered you. And if I care about you, I won't do that again.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
And it was like that type of communication. I was like, man, that was so much better than any conversation I've ever had before that could have turned into an argument. So again, are we vetting? Is my point, right? As men, right? Are we vetting, right? Like that right there allows a woman more space into your life. And I think that sometimes we'll get that type of woman, and instead of giving her more space in our life, we're going like, well, I'm more attracted to this.
Hey, you want to see some bullshit?
What?
Here's some bullshit.
Here you go. He about to jump on Mike. Don't
you
jump on
ain't
my
like
co-host.
It might be coming. Who knows? It might be coming.
Hey man, I will not be taking pictures at Mike's wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Way
Yeah,
too
you
drunk.
would.
Way too
He
drunk.
gonna be way too drunk. He is not
That's
taking.
fair.
I was drunk at Ed's wedding. I lost my
You gonna take pictures,
jacket,
but they gonna be blurry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be pictures of the ceiling.
bro.
Shoes. Yeah.
Facts.
I lost my clothes at
World
Ed's wedding.
class photographer, huh?
Look, done. No cameras there. All right, y'all ready to have fun with the podcast?
Yeah, man.
The reason why, so if you see up there, we have a list, Billboard and Vibe, which is hip hop. They listed their top 5 rappers. I am proud to say, let me get the hand claps ready. Kendrick Lamar was voted number 2. Hey, there we go. Mike, it's time for you to just accept that he's great.
Hey,
He's
man.
great. Just accept it. You ain't got to say nothing. We go straight to the next topic. Come on.
I accept.
LeBron is next.
I
Are you?
accept that. I accept.
I don't think Andre 3 Stacks made a top 5. Told you. I said what I said.
That's ridiculous.
It is
Like,
absolute.
that's absolute absurdity.
Is it? It's 5
Absurdity,
rappers.
It
dog.
really is.
That's absurdity. Like,
Hold on. It's 5 rappers better than Andre 3 Stacks. Or 4. Or no, 5. Yeah, he put at 6. It's more than 5.
what?
It's 5.
I
Hove, Nas, Snoop, Wayne.
Snoop.
I'm a Snoop fan.
Look,
He ain't better than 3
He ain't
Stacks.
better than 3.
Yes, he is.
He's
The
not
worst,
better.
the
Yes,
worst
he
you can do
is.
is put him at 4.
All
Yeah.
them dudes,
Who?
all them dudes, bet money,
3,000.
all them dudes you just listed, they all listen to 3 Stacks.
Yeah, he listened to all 3 of them.
And they
He
rank,
listened to them.
him in their top 5.
Yeah.
People
Yes.
like to say who in they top 5, and then to be
Yeah.
10 people there. So
Well,
Yo, but come on,
but you
fam.
know,
Look,
no, but that's true though. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think there's a top 5. I think a top 10 list
So
is probably
yo,
more
look, I
accurate.
pulled this up. They don't even have him. They don't even have his name anywhere.
yeah,
Trigger, dog.
I know.
I'm triggered. Like,
I
it's
I did this on
Outkast
purpose.
fan. This
Like,
is
yo,
a legacy outcast.
Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck is 3 Stacks?
Look,
doing?
look,
Well, because it's more than
Like
I can
what-
keep
what
naming
is-
rappers who
what is-
better than
No,
3
you
Stacks.
cannot. You can keep
Yes, I
naming
can.
rappers, but you
I'm gonna
can't
put
keep
him
naming
at
rappers.
out. He in the
better
top.
than
Hold
him.
on, they got Nicki Minaj in the top 10.
Right.
Get the fuck out.
That's a whole nother subject. I ain't got nothing to say about
You know what?
that.
Once you get past Biggie-
Nikki did change music.
She
I'm
did.
not saying she not nice.
Yeah.
Once
But
you get past
3
Biggie,
Stacks ain't
Jay-Z,
there.
and Nas,
Huh?
like he's there.
Biggie better. Yeah, it's
know
more
what?
than 5.
Is-
It's 5 at
like,
least.
Nah.
once you
Nah,
get
it's
Biggie,
5
Jay-Z,
at
and
least.
Nas, like,
You
he's there. That's it.
could go Jay-Z. You could argue that.
No, it's not an argument there. That's not an argument.
Nas.
There's no argument there.
You can argue
Wayne,
that.
there's no argument there. I'm
But
sorry.
when it comes
I'm
to
sorry. Wayne is better.
Kendrick,
Well, I'm not
like-
gonna argue Kendrick, but I'm gonna tell you.
Dude, think about this. Outkast don't have a dud album.
Yeah, but they ain't created one in like 20 years either.
No, dude, they had 5 though. They had 5.
Those verses that Andre had on those 20-year albums.
When the
is
last time
still
you listened
better.
to those?
Honestly, this morning because I was
Yo,
listening to
look,
Players
listen,
Anthem,
hold on.
International Players
For
Anthem.
me,
Hold
it's
on.
been a minute.
Matter of fact, let me tell you a story. Let's tell the story about
I'm more of
International Player Anthem. So Pimp C, everybody know that he produced all the music, right?
Absolutely.
Pimp C sent the track to Andre so they could record on it. So when he sent it to him, Andre recorded and sent it back. So when Pimp C got it back, Andre had took the drums out. So Andre's messing with this man engineering. He took the drums out, left the loop in, and sent it back to him and didn't tell him. So Pimp C was hot. Pimp C was mad as hell. Like, fuck Andre. How dare he touch? This is not his song. This is my song. How dare he do this? And like he played it for whoever else was in there. And then they listened to it, and then they were just like, damn, Pimp, like he kind of right.
He is. I mean, it's a great verse,
Yo, I love that story.
Like he kind of right.
Yeah.
but it's 5 rappers
And the
better than
rest is
Andre.
history.
Yeah, I love
It's-
that shit.
Nah.
It's definitely 5. I'm
on,
naming
man.
them. Which one do you have a problem with?
Personally, I don't think Wayne is better than Andre.
Fact.
No,
Nah,
Wayne is not better than
nah.
Andre.
And part of that too is when you go back and listen to the point that I was about to make is when you go back and you listen to them 20-year albums,
Bro.
those when you listen to them songs,
You never heard the Carter 1 or Carter 2?
Hold on. When you go back and listen to that stuff,
gosh.
like you're not going back and listening to old Wayne from
Yes, I
18
am.
years ago.
Yes, we are.
You listen to 400 Degrees? Isn't that his first one?
Yeah.
Nah, I was too young for that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm being real with you.
we're not
Yeah.
though.
I understand,
Yeah.
but
Look,
if
We're not.
Wayne did more for music than what Andre did. I'm sorry. Like
Wayne
that's
had
just,
writers too.
that's what Gilly told y'all, and then he ain't got no proof of it.
Yo, look,
Okay.
Wayne,
And we're gonna get to Gilly in a little bit.
You got the Wayne who was getting his ghost written. That's what
Yeah.
you got.
Well, that's what they told us.
No, that's what you got.
No, that's what. Look, I'm telling y'all
Wayne is
this.
good.
Yo,
Like,
Life
Wayne
of the
is
Party,
great.
But we're saying
Yo,
3
Wayne
stacks
Wayne trained.
is ahead of him.
Yo, Life
Wayne
of the
had-
Party
Gavin, let me ask
is
you
the
this.
best verse of the last
I got you.
20 years.
Yeah, but
I
let me
got
From
ask you this.
anybody.
They don't have a.
What's up?
He don't have a miss, man.
If you made a music documentary, right,
Absolutely.
and you broke all music down into 6 categories,
Okay.
right, and 10 minutes of it was hip hop,
Okay.
you could leave Lil Wayne out.
No, you cannot. that is not true at all. There's not true.
No,
what he
you
did.
could leave Lil Wayne out.
No, you couldn't.
If
For
you
the
told
fact that there was
story
like
of hip hop, you cannot leave Outkast out. You cannot leave
Baraka,
2000 out.
there was a time when the top 20 in hip hop music, Wayne was on every 20 of them. Andre never did that. Jay-Z never did that. Biggie never got to do that. Kanye never got to do that. You're not doing that. There's a mixtape. You give me the best mixtapes in hip hop of all time. If you give me a top 20, Wayne is going to have at least 3 mixtapes in there. No other artist got that.
Wayne is good. We're just saying he's not better than Andre.
Yeah.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
and
That's
it,
it. Yeah.
music,
That's all.
sports. I think it's music, sports, and religion. Like you never gonna win an argument in those just because it's all preference at the end of the day. So I'm not doing that.
It's all
But what I'm
subjective,
saying is,
for sure.
But Wayne is better than 3 Stacks. I'm trying to tell y'all that right now.
You can't tell. But I'm saying you can't tell the story of rap music of hip hop
Without
Andre
Outkast.
2000.
No,
Without Outkast.
No, you
yeah,
can't.
I'm not arguing
leave,
that.
You can leave.
I'm telling you that's false.
No, but you can leave them out.
You can leave
No-
Wayne out.
No,
leave
you
Wayne
cannot.
You
No, you
can't-
can't.
you can't leave
because
out-
if you leave out Wayne, you can't. Then we don't get Drake, who's the biggest artist
Now,
of all
we'll get
time
the
in
Hot
hip hop.
Boys, though. We would get the Hot Boys.
You would get the
We
no.
would get the Hot Boys, and Wayne is
You gonna
included in
get
that. So we
you,
get that.
You're
and
not
then
getting DJ
Wayne is included in
Khaled.
that.
You're not getting Khaled. You're not getting Drake or Nicki. You're
I
not
agree,
getting.
I agree with
you're
you.
not
Like I disagree with Baraka.
Yeah, you're not.
leaving
Wayne's gonna
Wayne
play
out
a
of that
part.
conversation.
Now you're gonna get the weirdo shit, but that and I think that overshadows Wayne's talent. But bro, if
His
I
run was too formidable to not talk
his
about.
run was stupid. We talking 05 to like 2015. Nobody was touching
Yeah,
him
you
in
couldn't
music.
escape it. You can't
couldn't.
skip over it if you couldn't escape it.
Now, what you can't escape is LeBron.
How?
Nah, I'm playing. I'm just joking. LeBron James. And you know what, Mike? I feel bad because we did the pod the day he was going to break the record. And I felt like if we had to have a talk, we could have just did a thank you for him that day because I felt like he was going to break the record that day.
Yeah. We forgot.
Oh, he intended to break it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
And
was
we
his
recorded the day.
Yeah.
We recorded a few hours before, and I was
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, we forgot. But I mean, the thing is, I didn't really celebrate it because
Oh,
it's
gosh.
been expected.
Yeah.
so
like-
you don't,
like
you don't
the-
celebrate black men? That's crazy,
No,
man.
no.
Just assumptions. That's crazy.
On the Black Dad's podcast.
Boy,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Gavin will create a straw man so fucking quick. That nigga put it together. Like,
Golly, man. We just expect it to be great all the time.
Yeah,
Damn.
Craftsman.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think sometimes like the LeBron, I put Floyd in this category, like Floyd Mayweather. I think that their excellence is so high that when they do accomplish something, I mean, this wasn't the fanfare. I remember when Kareem broke the record. I was a kid. I remember being home watching it on ABC.
Wilt's record.
Yeah, right.
So
And it
Wilt was
and-
a real thing. My generation don't believe.
And I
he
was just like, man, like it was a big deal. But like LeBron, it's like we've been expecting it for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't really know what he could do that would make us be like, wow.
Win
anymore.
7 championships.
Win
yeah.
7, yeah.
You know, but he would have
Win
did
7.
he would have did that in Miami. So it's like
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
not
not
gonna
gonna
do it. But it's
happen.
like if he would have stayed in Miami, he would have did
It
it.
also takes a little bit out of the air when it's like your team is 25 and 31.
Yeah, and you lose the game. But I mean, I don't even blame him for that. I'm just saying, like, I mean, the dude, like his mark on history.
Kareem broke
Yeah.
that record and like they won the title.
Yeah, but
Damn.
he
Oh,
would,
wait, no, that's not happening.
But he had like 10.7 rebounds that year. They didn't win the title because of Kareem.
No, I'm saying
He was
but-
on the team.
I
that
got
won
what
the
you're saying,
title.
but I mean,
Let me ask you this: what's your feelings on AD sitting down?
You know what? It looked. So I'm gonna tell you how it looked. It looked like
Shooting
he
black
didn't
men some bail. Go
like
ahead.
He didn't like it,
The optics were bad.
right?
The optics was horrible.
But I think it was more so him just getting out of the way, like just knowing that momentum, that moment right there. You don't really want to be a part of somebody else's moment in any kind of way for that.
You shooting him bail, so I'm gonna let it
I
ride.
am.
Yeah, he should be glad. He should have stood up and clapped his fucking hands.
Yeah, and you know what made me mad? I
At me.
always, and I write this in the group chat that Jeremiah's not a part of. Like, I hate the market employee that comes after it. So the whole thing of, oh, I didn't know he was about to break the record, so I was just sitting down. Bro, that's bullshit to me. Because when everybody's jumping up and we stop the game and you still sitting there,
It
then
looks-
it's like, dude,
It looks bad.
You think great players are hard to play with?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think
I
the
mean, it's
Warriors-
hard to work with me every day, but Mike has to come and do it.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
me and
Like,
Gavin, y'all got a little bit of taste of me and Gavin today of how we go back and forth.
Here's the joke.
You think
All right,
it
here's the
wears
joke.
on them, though? Do you think it's like
That it wears on Mike?
No.
We can have an
Absolutely,
intervention with me and
no,
Mike.
on AD.
Oh, absolutely. Because every day you come in,
Because
it's
I seen it with Kevin Love. I seen it with Chris
oh,
Bosh.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the reason why Kevin Love was going through mental health issues, and I don't think like I'm not being funny, but I believe that shit because it's
think it was
every day.
LeBron?
No, I think like.
I think it is part of the
Yeah,
pressure
Yeah, and I don't think-
of being that close to
and
proximity
because it's
to
like-
history every fucking day.
Because it's like this. It's 10 cameras there.
Yeah.
One is there to talk about you. The other 9 that are right there in your face is to question you about LeBron. Like, you know, one of my favorite clips is when they asked Kyrie, like, do you see LeBron as a father figure? And he's like, what the hell are y'all talking about? And you're talking about a man who grew up with his father.
Yeah.
And he
That's
was
the
like,
stupid shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the stupid. And so the goofy shit that we don't see,
Yeah.
I imagine it is there. So I do imagine it's tough. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I think it is. I think.
Yeah, I think it looks bad, but I really think it's fatigue. And also, you know, you're not winning, right?
Yeah. Facts.
So it's kind of hard to
Celebrate.
you know, and you're not winning. You're not winning the
25 to
game.
31.
You're not winning the season so far. So I can see him like sitting down and being like, this isn't a big deal, despite the fact that historically it's momentous.
Right.
So I get it looks bad, but I also get where he's at.
And you know what made me sad, like thinking about it right quick, is when we play this over in 30 years,
Yeah.
when they pan to your bench and how they reacted, your goofy ass is going to be sitting right there.
Yeah, no.
And you got to live with that. And so your kid's going to have to ask you, yo, why was you sitting down?
why you went up clapping?
Why weren't you up? This the
Yeah.
greatest, like in my generation, this is that, right?
Yeah.
Like when Barry got up to do his thing, it was, yo, he been using steroids. When
Yep.
Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa was doing anything, we already knew what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know any other records that was out there that was super important. You know what I'm saying? Like we never got to see somebody go undefeated in football. I didn't, my age, right? So then this is that big record. And then you going to look over and somebody going to say, yo, Dad, you was on that team and you didn't move.
Yeah.
Like when everybody else moved, you sat there. So I think it's a bad look. We ain't got to stay on Jay Prince and Offset. This is for those who listen and you don't understand. Of course, Takeoff was killed in Houston. Jay Prince is the boogeyman in Houston. Let me just leave it at that. And there's this thing of a war words where they're going back and forth. And this is one of those situations where it goes back to our earlier point of like, why aren't we talking?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is getting ugly with them. You know, they throwing insults, calling each other names. And then, you know, I imagine Offset or Cardi, is, you know, somebody in their family comes to Houston, it gets tough for them. The air gets thin.
Yeah.
I like what Offset said though about you got reach out to me. Like you're the
Mm-hmm.
boogeyman. You got access to everybody. Just call.
Facts.
Me, right?
Yeah.
Why are you getting on podcasts? Come on. You're the elder statesman.
Yeah.
Let's
Facts.
be honest. You're the person who people look up to handle the situation in that fashion.
Yeah.
Right? Versus talking about it on social media. I mean, we know you got power.
Yeah.
Facts.
Just reach out to me, and we have a conversation man to man, and settle whatever it is. But to see again the negativity in our community, that's what's always promoted. So we see that being pushed at us constantly versus somebody saying, "Look, why don't your brothers just sit down? Like, why ain't the podcasters asking that
Well,
question?"
because he was on he was on
Gillian
$1 million,
Waller.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gilly. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, yo, they should have
That's what you
went
challenge
there.
him, yeah.
But
Well,
you know,
but exactly. I know where you're going. It's content.
yeah. It's content.
Content
my
over
point.
everything,
Yes,
dog.
that's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, because
it's
if they
sad.
would have did that, we wouldn't even seen that clip, right?
Facts.
That clip would have never even.
Or why did you even post the clip?
Yeah,
You didn't have
That's
to.
the
you didn't
sad-
have to.
that's the
You didn't
sadder
have
part.
to. And there's not many, bro. Real talk. There's not many. I know we talk a lot of shit on here. We go back and forth hard against each other, but there's not a lot of pods, man, where it's really talking about black men deserving love and being capable of loving one another in a positive manner.
Facts.
And I think that's just another example of it. And here's the part that I hate, whereas I can't on camera go in on either one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw it with John Morant's dad and Shannon Sharp, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all saw the negative part, right?
Yeah.
And then it took like the next day
They
for
talked
Twitter
after the
to
game.
show us
Yep.
after the game, they bro hugging, they made up, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, we never, social media, the algorithm, media itself is never going to show black men in a positive light, communicating in a positive manner.
Nah, for
So
what?
what we assume as black men is that it always has to be the macho shit, right? And it really shouldn't be the macho shit ever, man. It should be the man shit. Men are thinkers.
Fact.
That's what men are. Men are not macho. Men are not, braggadocious. We tend to see those behaviors on social media, but that's never the intention of men.
And the sad part is, like Ja Morant, who loves, now they unveiling like all of his tweets
Yeah.
of him acting like a thug online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Telling a fan was like, yo, you ever felt a hollow? You know what I'm saying? He got they pulling all his shit. That's the funny thing about Twitter. They go find some old shit.
Yeah.
And then,
He got pictures in boat shoes and shorts.
that's something for you. That's South Carolina. Oh, I found out North Carolina ballers is better than South Carolina. We did the math, the research. Me and Ez had the argument. Just know that your brother said whatever.
I'm gonna call him.
Come on.
I'm gonna call him to confirm.
I did have to Google all of this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna call him.
Did not know.
To confirm.
But it's sad because it's like, if something goes wrong, like if Offset goes somewhere and God forbid something bad happens to him, then we're gonna look back at this time and then it's not gonna be people saying, yo, how could Jay Prince do this? It's gonna be like, you knew who Jay Prince was.
We don't want the East Coast West Coast thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that cost us Pac and Biggie. And to a lesser extent, it also cost us Sean because that was still like, carrying weapons because of the environment. Like, who knows what type of rapper he could have became, post Biggie. So it cost us so much. And in this situation, like, somebody has to say, all right, what happened? I gotta grieve, and I gotta move on. Hove never speaks, man.
He
never speaks publicly. I don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Publicly, yeah.
But he
That's
never.
exactly the way that we're saying that this situation should have been handled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it
Has to be. We have to dead it, man. Like there's no benefit in someone harming someone else in this situation here.
And another problem with that is with him speaking, with Jay Prince speaking like that publicly, you got people around him, just like how Takeoff was killed. Guys around them killed him. He didn't give. An order wasn't even given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jay Prince don't even have to give an order. Somebody could see Offset and just act on their own volition.
Yeah.
Versus,
Yep.
them having an actual conversation. So for him to speak in that manner, again, being the elder statesman, man, like, you gotta move differently.
And you
man.
said something important. He's the elder statesman, right? Like it's up to the older men to reach back to the younger man. It's not the opposite.
Yeah, it's his responsibility to do that, man.
Facts. Before we get out of here, what's y'all Super Bowl picks?
Eagles all day, man.
Here we go.
Going for the
I
Eagles,
think Philadelphia is gonna win. I think it's gonna I don't have a team. I think Philadelphia's gonna win.
He always give like a deep
Eagles
answer.
34,
Dog.
36.
Yeah. What he said, he's Switzerland, right?
Yeah, that is true.
They throw shots.
Until that lasted, whatever that reel we did last time, and he was on that line and shit. Baraka, who you got?
Eagles 34-37.
I'm not gonna ask y'all the
Got it
black
close.
question. We just gonna let it rock.
Yeah.
Talking about Pat Mahomes?
We don't. I think we stepped it enough for the day.
I need y'all to drop y'all socials if you want to be found. Baraka probably don't want to be found at all.
Nuh-uh.
Mike, who cares? We need y'all socials.
At Rook and King.
You ain't gonna plug. You ain't gonna plug.
King.
The lady should have got some lapels from you to get to their man for V-Day.
Oh, that's one of the best Valentines.
You
Day
ain't
gifts
plug
you
it.
can give. Yeah, I make the dopest lapel pins in the world. I got motherfuckers copying me.
This the worst ad. This the worst ad placement of all
Motherfuckers
time.
copying me, dog. Check it out.
That's
Rook and
a
King.
Wayne line. He said that. Y'all should
Oh
have listened.
shit, here we go.
Y'all should have. You ain't gonna give us no plug where they can find you. Where's your website?
It's all Rook and King. rookandking.com. You should be able to put it up in front of me. Like, y'all don't got that effect. Y'all got to.
Oh, don't try me on my editing skill.
Oh yeah. He said you got to throw the special effect.
Yeah, you got to put it.
That's crazy. Yeah, we live.
Rook and King.
Yeah.
Rook and King.
At Rook and
Ladies,
King.
ladies, y'all get the worst gifts ever is what he was trying to say. Please go to Rook and King. Look it up on IG, Facebook, your website,
rookandking.com.
everything.
Yes.
Rookandking.com. Get your man 5 and then get his homeboy 5. Right now, place the order. If there's a promo code, just put in Black Dads Club. It won't work, but just plug it in. And so we can get paid. Now, if you want to add here, your ad can go here. Eugene, what's your socials? You want to be fine?
So
you found.
you can find the Digital Cigar Lounge pod for the podcast, and then you can find me at Ellington Styles.
Also, I did have a lady text me, ask was any of y'all married. I told them that Baraka was. Yes. I think y'all said y'all was single. I don't know if you said you were single or not.
I'm in a relationship. Yeah.
My man.
My
hand
man
clap.
say he in a relationship. Boy, look, we got breaking news on the pod.
Nah, he did say
The Chiron.
He did say it last time. He said it last time he was here. Have you? Never mind. I ain't gonna get you in trouble. I'm gonna cut that out, bro. I asked you off mic. But yes, to the ladies that were asking, the guy in the middle who was fussing with me, my co-host. Shout out to the greatest co-host, man. That'll be me. Hold on. And Jeremiah's single, allegedly. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that Mike is single either. I ain't buying that bullshit either. I don't believe Mike's single.
I'm single.
Cause he be coming in here, he said enough slick shit that let me know that my boy might be out the game or close to it.
Hey man, I'm just looking up at the clock.
Winding down.
I'm in the fourth quarter, man. I'm in the fourth quarter. I'm just looking at the clock right now.
2 minute drive.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And with that, we gonna holler at y'all next time.
Holla at your boy.
Good shit.